Hey guys, today we are going to talk about nightclubs, health centers, massage parlors, private clubs, golf clubs. The items, or are you subject to service tax? Under the Service Tax Regulation 2018, first schedule, they talk about Group C, nightclubs, dance halls, health centers, massage parlors, public houses, and beer houses. So these are the things that is subject to service tax. For example, number 1, provision of dancing partners or social escorts, your provision of sale of food, drinks, or tobacco products, your services in form of corkage, toll charges, cover charges, health services by health centers, or massage services will subject to service tax. Provision of premises for meetings or promotion of cultural or fashion shows will subject to service tax. And the last one is parking spaces for motor vehicle will subject to service tax. Now, how about Group D, private club, or Group E, golf courses? So the same thing applies, the provision of sport and recreational services, the sale of food, drinks, tobacco products, which is the similar with what we have earlier. But they mentioned something on the provision of massage will subject to service tax, excluding massage services provided by barber houses, hairdressing salons, or beauty salons. Okay. Then they also talk about the provision of rooms for lodging or sleeping accommodation, which is subject to service tax. And lastly, the golf course will subject to service tax. Let's do a simulation. Now, this is a nightclub. So one day, the customer go to the nightclub and he ordered a beer. Now, will beer subject to service tax? Yes, beer will subject to service tax. How about some food? Fries, for example. The fries will subject to service tax. And remember, we talk about escort or any dancing partners. So if you find some dancing partners, will they subject to service tax? Yes, Ruhua will subject to service tax. Like flower. Beautiful. How about massage services? Now, massage services will subject to service tax. No doubt about that. Unless you go for the barber shop. Now, this barber shop kind of massage, sometimes it's very painful. It's not subject to service tax. Let's talk about golf course. So this guy went to golf course and he has a membership with the golf course. Now, this golf course will subject to service tax and including the membership as well. And also the driving range where you drive the buggy, and all this will subject to service tax, and also include the accommodation. So if this golf course also provide accommodation, will subject to service tax as well. So he gave the staff, because he already scored quite a number of golf, many points. So he gave him some tips due to very happy. So give him some tips. Now, is this tip subject to service tax? No, the tips is not subject to service tax. So the same golf course also offer wedding packages. So when he offer wedding packages, so the wedding in this golf course, and will be subject to service tax? The wedding package will subject to service tax. So this guy came over with a broken heart. 可惜新郎不是我. Broken heart, not subject to service tax. So all these are extracted from Group C or Group D or Group E, the guide dated 21st August 2018 by Customs. And if you need any more information, you can always refer to the guide. This video is sponsored by SK Account, empowering you through software and business knowledge.